The 2024 Indiana Fever team is a team that obviously a lot of people were hyped about, and it was probably the most popular team in WNBA history if we're talking purely about fans. Without question, there's never been a team like this. There's not. And when it comes to fandom, and if you guys look at this roster, first of all, Maya Caldwell was gone. I have no idea who this is. Celeste Taylor was gone. Almost this entire team is gone. We are now looking from the opening night roster. And by the way, what people don't realize with the opening night roster is Damaris Dantas was injured. That's why they have 13 players here. Damaris Dantas was injured. They literally had enough in their salary that they could have 13 players last season. They had enough free salary. So basically they've got like nobody left. Nobody left. So from the opening night roster, take out Dantas. Dantas is another X as well. So of the 12 players on the score sheet for opening night, there are 4 remaining. And by the way, a lot of people are like, oh, there's 4 remaining because they're the big 4. Pre-Olympic break, Lexi Hull was getting DNPs. They literally, other than their big 3, Dantas, who's a solid post player, and Lexi Hull, they got rid of everybody. Grace Berger got cut, and I actually think the Grace Berger getting cut is still, I still don't like that one. I still don't like them just cutting Grace Berger. I understand they kind of had to do it. But in my opinion, Grace Berger is a better player than Sydney Colson. I think she has the ability at least to be a better player than Sydney Colson. Just purely on the court basketball wise. I don't like, that's the one thing. Of all the moves, Grace Berger for Colson is the one that I don't like. But Temi, they got rid of Temi, and it looks like Temi might not be coming over next season. So hence why it makes sense why they got Temi, or they got rid of Temi and they didn't protect her. It kind of makes sense because it now looks like she's, well, maybe not going to be in the in the league at all. Then you've got Katie Lou Samuelson. Again, I don't understand getting rid of Katie Lou Samuelson for basketball reasons if you're going to be getting rid of if Christy Wallace was going to go. And I think if Christy Wallace, basically, if she had gone before Katie Lou Samuelson had gone, I actually don't think Katie Lou Samuelson would have gotten rid of her. So they're going with 11 anyway. Saxton kind of made sense. They had to get rid of her. And Alyssa Smith, you kind of had to get rid of her, didn't you? Celeste Taylor was a dumb one. Celeste Taylor reminds me of, if you're asking me which was the dumbest trade they made, Celeste Taylor. Then Christy Wallace. Obviously, I hope she's okay. It was not just purely basketball reasons, which I kind of hoped it was when I had got rumblings that maybe your stepmom had passed away. I was looking for it over everywhere and I couldn't find it. I was like, I don't want to report this as fact in case it's just in case it's just something that people are saying online, but it does appear to be fact. So obviously you just don't you just hope that it's all's good with her. And obviously Erica Wheeler, they just didn't keep her. Even though she was on a minimum, she just slowed the game down too much. And unfortunately, when you're playing with Caitlin Clark, you cannot really afford to slow the game down too much. So, yeah, it's a completely new team. And if you're looking at the teams, the team is so much better. The team is actually so much better. If you look at the roster, Kelsey Mitchell is still Kelsey Mitchell. Natasha Howard versus Alyssa Smith. Natasha Howard's so much better. Sophie Cunningham versus Katie Lou Samuelson. Sophie Cunningham is a lot better than Katie Lou. Lexi Hull versus Lexi Hull, same player. Bree Turner versus Temi. Give me Temi. Unfortunately, Jaylen Brown's not going to make the roster. Then you're looking at Sydney Colson versus Grace Berger. I don't know about that one, but Dawana Bonner versus Christy Wallace. Like, all that matters, like, imagine replacing Tawana Bonner with Christy Wallace. It's all you have to do. It's all they needed to do. Replacing Alyssa Smith and replace Christy Wallace. That's all. It's all that, like, it looked like they were doing. And it was it really was a good one. It was a good one. And the maddest thing is that, like, you're looking at Celeste Taylor, who is now going to be playing big minutes for the Phoenix Mercury. But, like, the entire, like, 66% of the Fever's opening roster is gone. Has there ever been a team like that? Like, or are more of the Mercury's roster gone? I want to see, are more of the Mercury roster gone from the start of last season in the Fevers? So the Fever have got 4 players remaining because Dantas was injured. The Mercury have got 2. Well, the Mercury have got 2. Oh my god, this is an entirely new team. Like, Celeste Taylor is coming in. She was signed last year. They've got 2. They've got 2 players remaining in Natasha Mack and Kat Copper. Oh my god. Oh my god. They've got players that have never played in the WNBA before. It's a mad roster. Like, even the Connecticut Sun. Surely the Sun have got more. I thought, 4 might be one of the least. No, like, it seems like that might be normal. Let's check out the Sun's roster. The Sun have kept, from opening day last season, 1. They're at 1. The Caitlin Bickle, does she play for the Sun? She signed a 7-day. She was not on the opening day roster. So nobody. No, there is 1 person in Olivia Nelson-Ododa. Mental. Like, I thought the Fever losing all their players is one thing, but it's like the Sun are a brand new team. The Mercury are literally a brand new team. Like, even from the Fever in 2023, they still have 3 players from that roster. 2022, they still got 2 players from that roster. But, yeah, it is a mad one that, like, that Fever team that everyone, like, the Fever team that kind of brought a lot of people into the WNBA no longer exists. It absolutely no longer exists, which is, I don't know if that's a sad thing, if that's a happy thing, because it did kind of suck. Like, no offense to, that Fever team, they did kind of suck. Like, especially when they didn't figure out how to play, like, how to play together, how to play with Caitlin Clark. It was just a mad old situation. But anyway, yeah, that is the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.